It was an epidemic unlike any other. Within days, millions were infected. Within weeks, they were forced together.
Containment is our absolute priority. Blockade all bridges, streets, and rail links.
And then left to die. But 25 years after the outbreak,
it's the virus. It's back.
Containment.
I tell you one going so hard. I tell you one going so hard. Come mama, she stuck in the ghetto, and I'm trying to buy her a yard. I tell you one going so hard. I tell you one going so hard. Niggas left me in the mud, like they expect me to starve.
My people, we're back with another one. Is it Ghetto wise Medz? Is it all the deepest Medz? Is it? But yeah. So I'm teaching us something today. A few more. So most people, no one can see the banana. Most people don't know how to open the banana, them open it from that side, yeah. Right? But if you learn from nature, nature teach you everything. See, this side is where you're meant to open it from, this side. If you watch the monkeys, they don't open it from that side. That's why most people have problems. This side, yeah, you squeeze it, then you open it. See it? This is meant to hold. That's a holder. See what I say? That's what you meant to hold. This is what we meant to hold for eat. You see me? Do what we have to do.
Yeah, you know a nigga got dough. A nigga could leave the league. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man?
Lost all my money, now I'm trying to get it back. Now it's all about the profit, so I'm trying to let it stack up, cause I wanna buy a range. Put my son up in the back, then cross the 7 seas, cause I can't afford a yacht. Now I'm thinking about my stress, as I'm sipping on the yacht. Lost my brother to the system, man, I hope I get him back. Reminiscing about the days we used to sit up in the trap. The only thing was on our minds was getting to the top, so we had to bag it.
Phone call just come in, but yeah, so that's how we eat it. We hold it from the side there, as you can see, and we broke it off and we do it thing. Alright, let's get into it. So today we're gonna talk about COVID. Alright, we write down a few things, and I'm gonna read them to you, a few notes I want to know if you just take attention to. Alright, these are the next thing I'm going to write down. Just a few things for people them who are listening, you see me, just to educate you. Alright, the one you know. Right? So this now is shown now. Boom. Ready? One note me I read to you. So 52 cards in a deck represents 52 weeks in the year. 13 card per suit is a representation of the lunar circle. 4 suits for each season of the month: spring, summer, autumn, winter. And if you count all the pips, which is the suits, all adds up to 365, which represents the days of the year. Learning is forever. L-I-F-E. Let's get into it. Break down this COVID thing to you lot and show you lot where I'm going with this whole thing's in. So let's have a discussion the other day, and we are reasoning about this whole COVID thing, and everyone said when me think about it. So this is my thought process on the whole thing. Alright, so we're gonna start with Ephesians 6 verses 12. So 12 divided by 2 is 6, and if you take that 6 and times it by 2 is 12. Right, so that's 666. Right, I'm gonna break everything down to you guys, yeah, if you break it down. So that 666 represents 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 carbon, which in all fact is dark matter, which is obviously melanin. The big theory, right? 144,000, and I'm gonna break down those 144,000 to you guys now. So 144,000 is for basically the seal that God put on his chosen few people from the 12 tribes, right? And those 12 tribes is another representation of the 12 months within the year, right? Even though there's 13, but we're just going to talk about the 12 right now. The 12 tribes, right? So those 12 tribes, basically from Judah and Israel, as I said, is a representation of the month. So now the seal on these people's forehead is basically to keep them, because you know, if you know you're gifted at something, you're going to spread it to the whole world. So God basically kept you lot. He preserved you for the right moment, which is now. You know, you may not understand, and a lot of people may not get it, the reason of why all of a sudden everyone starts to grow their hair or start to eating healthy. This is because, I remember, he's got 12,000, right? From those 144, he's got 12,000 from each tribes. Again, 12 months in a year. He's got 12,000 from each tribe, right? That he's going to rise up when the right time. And the time, as I said before, is now. So this whole COVID thing happened due to the fact that those who are at top is actually losing power. As you can see, once to know when a state is losing power, check what's happening to the statues that's around. Those are the first to go. They start tearing the statues down. That's how you know they're losing power. They know they're losing power. Their time to rule is up. But you know, as the quote says, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So their whole main thing, I mean, they spend trillions and billions, if not, to try and keep us in the state we are, which is a sleep state, basically. You know, in America, I see it all the time. Every time they approach a black person, they're shaking. This is because they understand you and you don't understand them. They know who you are. They know they're dealing with gods. They know they're dealing with high beings. They know they're dealing with dark matter, you know, the most powerful thing in this world, atom. So, and you know we're made of molecules, right? So when you see them approach you, this is why they always have their hands on their guns, even though you may not have a gun or whatever, because they understand who you are and they're trying to get rid of you before the timing of the higher beings. You know, you rest not with flesh and blood but principalities in high places. So they're basically trying to get rid of us before the time of rising comes, but God will be done, you know. So no matter how they do, no matter how they fight, it will always happen. This is why, as I said, we're all on a one connection shift where we start to grow our hair, we started to eat right, we started to find ourselves again, you know. Once a slave, twice a king. That's my thing. So this whole thing happened because, remember now, we were said to have been slave in, 1 second, let me get the note because I don't want to say no wrong information, you know. So let me get it. When slavery started, just bear with me a second, because COVID happened in 2019, right? Okay. So 6, yeah. And yeah, I'm gonna try and find a way to I'm gonna try and find a way to put it on the screen so you can see the information as well. Or you can just simply Google it. Slavery was said to have started in 1619, right? When we lost our way and we started to be disobedient to Yahweh, right? 1619. Now, if you do 1619 in your calculator and you take away 2019, that's 400 years, right? The Bible also tells you about that, in your Quran and every other, you know, the Torah, if you was to check it and read it with understanding, or understanding should I say, you'd actually grasp what it's telling you, you know. So yeah, it ended in 2019, and as I said, if you take away 1619, which is 1619 from obviously 2009, you get 400 years. So what I'm trying to show you is that their time for ruling is actually coming to an end, and they're trying their best to capture as many souls as they can. And the reason for this whole COVID thing that happened now is because of patience. We've been sitting down for the last 2 years, right? And I was saying this to one of my brethren as well the other day. I was explaining it to him. I was saying to him that, haven't you realized they're basically locking off the whole of London? So there's probably a map that we, the people, haven't got as yet that they have, which is basically a one-way traffic, right? Then the sun's probably going to be beating throughout the whole of this month or the whole of this year, throughout the summer period. We've been locked down for so long. We haven't got patience. We don't want to be sitting in traffic. You know, we want to be on a go. This is why most people now, and plus you're watching social media, you're seeing all of that, so you feel like your life is meant to be like this when perhaps everyone's journey is different. You know, so you get caught up in all of that, which makes your patience level even more low. So you haven't even got time to actually focus on yourself because you're perceiving things from a different angle, and they know this and they understand this. This is why they come in with, you know, the biometrics, because as I was saying to one of my brethren the other day as well, that there's two prints for us as humans. One is your fingerprint and one is your eye print, you know. And your fingerprint is just for the flesh to say who you are, and the eye print is for the soul. Because these people understand who we are, because you know the Bible tells you Jesus died and he came back, which means there's life after death. Some call it reincarnation. Christians don't believe in that, right? And most other religious people. So it shows that the one thing that does live on is the soul or the spirit, whichever way you want to say it or whichever way you want to put it, right? So they know who we are, and this is why they're creating all this, so they can, in my personal opinion, find the 144,000 chosen people, so they can perhaps kill them off, so there's less of a fight, if you know what I'm trying to say. Because if you can see, we're killing off each other anyway, we're doing the works for them, so when the time for the actual war to start, there's a few of us, but remember there's 144,000. So whatever they're trying to plan, God's got a better plan, you know. And that's where I personally feel this whole COVID thing happened. You know what I'm saying? This is all man games thing, you know, for profit. So don't get things twisted, you know. If police station or policeman was to do his absolute job, there would be no crime, and no crime would mean there would be no job for them, okay? Because remember, once we get arrested, as I said before, everyone gets paid. So pay attention to that stuff. We're rising up, people.